I noticed that Las Vegas Pick Apart lists what parts cars they have, and there's pictures of what their inventory is. And that for me is really interesting because I can go on there now and look through all the Mustangs. And that is also very dangerous for a person like me who loves these cars so much, because not only do I feel bad seeing them there, but I do see them and I know what parts are there, and I know what I want off these cars, and it makes me want to go down there and buy the parts for these cars. So I saw this '04 Oxford White Mustang GT, and this is a premium GT. It has the premium wheels on it, which were the same wheels that were offered on the '99 and 2001 Mustang Cobra, but they were also later offered in '03 and '04 as premium GT wheels with the pony center caps. If you look in the brochure for 2003 and 2004, it shows these wheels as the 17 bright aluminum wheel optional for GT Premium. And also in the brochure it shows this picture, which is one of my favorite pictures for the Mustang GT. And I absolutely love this car, torch red Mustang GT with bullet wheels. But on the left it shows these wheels and it says, here's another way to dress up your GT. Choose the optional 5-spoke wheel forged from bright aluminum alloy for extra sharp look. It's one of 4 distinct wheels offered. So I've always remembered that, and I thought those looked really cool. So I saw those wheels on this GT and I thought, man, there's a lot of really neat parts on that car. It's an interior upgrade package car. This was a convertible. The fog lights were still there, and I just really started wanting to go down and get those parts. Now the thing that's hard about that for me is it's about 2 hours away and 2 hours back, so it's a 4-hour drive round trip, and that's going down to get something that I'm not sure is even still there. You know, these cars get picked apart pretty quickly, and this car had been there for about a week, so I had no idea what was left on this car. And there was even somebody on the Las Vegas Mustang Facebook page who offers to go and get parts for people who don't have time or who don't want to go to the pick apart. And so I actually contacted him first and asked him if he has seen that car there or if he could go by and get the wheels for me. And he talked back and forth with me a little bit. He offers to do that for a fee, and he just wasn't getting back to me. And I got talking with my friend at work, and I was telling him how much I wanted to go down and get these parts, especially the wheels. Even though I got the bullet wheels for my GT, I thought these would be a really nice set of wheels to have for my GT. So anyway, the next morning, it was Saturday morning, and my friend actually messaged me, and he was saying he was headed to Vegas to go swap some Recaro seats out of a Mustang 5.0 Coyote that his aunt had bought, and she wanted to trade the seats for some leather ones to somebody who was going to meet them halfway from California. And so I said, oh, I'd actually really like to go down to Vegas. I've been wanting to go down and get some parts off a Mustang. If you don't mind, I'd like to come along. And so we decided to make a trip out of it and have some fun. And I was looking at the wheels, and it was hard to tell, but I was pretty sure that these wheels had the anti-theft lug nuts on, 1 lug nut per wheel. And to get those off, you can take a 3/4 inch socket, a 12 point, and if you slide it over that anti-theft lug nut, you can tap it on with a hammer and then beat it on pretty tight, and then use a ratchet or a break it bar to break that loose and get that lug nut off. And I know Danny Johnson, my brother, had made a video on how to do this, and so I watched his video, and he actually gave some good advice about using a 12-point socket to do that. And so I happened to have a whole bag of 3/4 inch sockets, so I took them all with me in case each one of them got stuck on each lug nut, because there's one of those anti-theft lug nuts per wheel. And so I took some tools down with me, and we got down there to Vegas, and I found the car, and it was sitting there, and some people were trying to get the headlights out of it, and the interior had been well stripped. The interior upgrade pieces were gone, but the wheels were still there, and I was really excited because I wanted these wheels really bad. And so I searched the car for the key for the wheels, but the key was nowhere to be found, and I kind of assumed that it had been ransacked, and who knows where it was. But anyway, I had the sockets, and I was able to get the back ones off pretty easy, but my friend had to hold the brake so I could break loose the lug nuts on the front. But it turned out to be quite a fight. I couldn't get the sockets off the ones I already did, which was good because I brought extras. I ended up bending a extension that one of the people there had actually lent me. I had my own, but they lent me one because they thought that's what I needed when I actually was looking for a reducer so I could use the larger breaker bar or the larger socket. And I didn't have my reducer. I left it at home, and so I bent their extension, and I gave them one of mine to pay them back for that. It was nice of them to do that for me, and I felt bad I broke their part, um, or their tool. But anyway, I was able to finally get all the lug nuts loose, and I did end up breaking my ratchet on one of them, and luckily I had a second ratchet with me. But this is the only video I was able to take while I was there. I was in a big hurry because my friend was trying to get to the Shelby Museum where we were going to meet the other guy for the seats, to swap the Recaro seats for the leather seats. But you can see this was a very nice Oxford White Mustang GT, and the body looked really nice on it. The paint was really nice, and you can see the whole row of New Edge Mustangs there. Like I say, they're disappearing. It's really sad to see. But here you can see I have a socket wedged onto one of those anti-theft lugs. But there were a lot of parts I left behind because we were in a hurry and I didn't want to have my friend miss his appointment, and I do want to thank him for helping me because I couldn't have done it without him. I wanted to come down and do this by myself, but I realized that I would never have been able to get the front wheels off without someone helping me hold the brakes so I could break those lug nuts loose, so I'm grateful for that. Also, these wheels, all the tires on them are bad basically. One of them's too narrow, one of them the steel belt was showing, and it did bother me that I looked at the receipt after we left and they had charged me a whole bunch of stupid little fees, you know, warranties, which I wasn't interested in for each wheel because I don't live there and I wouldn't bring them back. It was like $15 a wheel per warranty, and they're just all sorts of little fees, core charge, all this dumb stuff. But anyway, I got those, and I was very excited to have gone down and got what I was there for. So here we are at Shelby American in the parking lot, and then this is inside their showroom and gift shop. And this is just really neat, a couple 50th anniversary cars there. There's a Super Snake that they're raffling off that's supposed to be like a Blue Angels edition. And I believe this is the Green Hornet EXP 500 that I've seen a lot with Barrett Jackson lately. And I really like this white with blue stripes Shelby GT350. This had the 50th anniversary plaque on the grille. But this is just one of my favorite Shelbys of all time. It's so iconic, such a cool color combination, such a neat car. And as I looked around, I tried to just enjoy these slowly because you can walk past these and not really even see what they are. If you look at this 427 Cobra, it doesn't have side exit exhaust, and a lot of these were actually rollers for sale. Here you can see the exhaust on this one coming out, and they were selling the rollers for $117,000 and the aluminum body roller for $179,000. And this was a really interesting table. This is a engine table. It's like the first Shelby engine table that somebody had made, and so I just tried to take a little bit of video of that. I might make a video just about it by itself, because I did take a photograph of the little plaque that talks about it. But I was basically there alone. I had the whole place to myself. My friend and his wife were looking at the gift shop area, and I stayed and looked at all the cars in the museum, and nobody else was there. It was just really fun to be there and look at these cars one by one and just take in a little bit of history, and just love being there and, you know, having just this open space and feeling like it was just an open garage for me to walk around and take my time and look around. And I've probably mentioned before that Carroll Shelby bought my grandfather's house in Bel Air when I was a little boy, and I got to meet Carroll Shelby, and he was really nice to me. And so it's just really cool to be here and know that I have some history there. So here are some of the pictures that I took, and this is a really neat wall that shows his charity foundations for the Children's and the Heart Association, and that he had a heart transplant. My mom always told me about that because she talked with Shelby for 10 years while he rented my grandpa's house before he ended up buying it. And so they got to know each other, and he was friends with my grandpa, and my grandpa was a doctor, and they talked about his heart and things, and he was able to get a heart transplant, and before he received his transplant, he gave his spot in line away to other people. He was very generous, so that's something I'm always going to remember. And of course, here you see a Shelby bike, you know, something that it seems like they'll put their name on anything to sell it, you know. And here's a really cool GT350 that's up in the shop being worked on. I really like to see that. I wasn't sure if that was a Heritage Edition, but I thought that would be cool if it was. And here's a couple more pictures of that Super Snake that they're raffling off with the F18 markings on it. And so $95 raffle ticket. And they're selling 6,000 tickets only. That comes out to over $500,000. But my friend did point out that it also benefits charity, so I guess that's a good thing. So these are the Recaro seats that came out of the 2014 Coyote that my friend's aunt had bought. And we were meeting here right in front of Shelby to meet the guy and swap seats. So here are the leather seats, and this is the last Recaro about to come out, and then here's the leather driver's seat unwrapped, and just a big seat swap there right in front of Shelby. So it was a really nice evening. It was really fun to be there. It was a good time, and I was excited because I got the wheels. So as soon as I got home, I unloaded them from the truck, and I got them outside to where I could put them on the grass and try to clean them up. I was just so excited. I wanted to clean them up, so I got my work light out, and I set them up here where I could see their condition a little bit better and clean them up. So you'll see they are kind of dirty, but of course they've just been in the elements. They have some brake dust on them and everything. But I didn't want to wait any longer. I went ahead and hosed them down and got a microfiber towel so I can clean them up and see what I really have here. And these are actually in pretty darn good shape. None of them seem to be bent. I had ordered new tires for my Bullet wheels, and the Bullet wheels still have a little bit of life in them left, but these ones have the steel belt showing on one of them, and you know, the tires are so bad on these that I'm actually thinking I want to put the new tires on these and enjoy them for a while. So this is just cleaning them up a little bit. So these wheels actually have clear coat on them. A lot of factory wheels do, and people don't know that. They try to polish them with aluminum polish and other types of chemicals, but it's just like a car's paint. They have clear on them. So the best thing to do is to wax them and polish them like you would the paint on a car. So I just lightly went over them with some of this Carnauba wax, and I actually did quite a few different things with them to try to clean them up. I did use some buffing compound on some of them to get some of the light scratches out, and they turned out really nice. So this is where I actually got the chemical guys buffing compound, and it didn't seem to make too much of a difference. They shined up really well. that's the update for now for my Mustang GT. I'm very excited about these wheels. I have some other things coming for the car, so stay tuned. And be sure to catch the rest of these videos and the earlier videos of this whole project of this Mustang. And thanks for watching.